Hey beauties, good afternoon to you. Now beautiful people, there is a particular pastor that I follow on TikTok. You know, he's just himself. He's real, down to earth. And I mean, I wouldn't tell you that he's politically inclined, but he will speak on issues, and since the atmosphere right now is on politics, every Jackman and Jill woman is talking about it. He himself has joined on that particular bandwagon. And he will be hitting out on the present governance and leader and whatever it is in terms of the leadership and, his personal belief. Now, one of the things that you need to understand is this, beautiful people. There is a scripture that says, touch not the Lord's anointed, nor do my servant any harm. He was saying that he has gotten some intel or intelligence, whichever you want to call it, that people want to basically get rid of him, annihilate him, kill him, and he just said to them that the Lord has said that if any of you touch me, many of you are going to die, and people in your family. And I want you to take heed with the man of God. I want you to take heed with what the man of God has promulgated. Whether or not he's fake or real, you have to be very careful in touching people who are pastors, any child of God, but especially pastors, leaders in the faith who promulgate the message of Christ. In other words, they help with kingdom building, whether they're fake or not, because if what I'm saying is false, remember Paul had said, listen, you see, even if the people are fake, internally their character is not good, but they're saying Jesus is the Lord, he's a Christ, they're saying what the Bible is saying, listen to the words. So whether you think he's real or not, if he's promulgating messages when he's at church and helping in kingdom building and you try to thwart that, I am so sorry for you. You're going to have to answer to God, and you can't give the right answer. You're going to pay for it. Let me take it this far. Look at King Saul. King Saul was people, how do I call it? I don't want to say people-centric. I don't want to say people-focused. He was controlled by people. Let me put it that way. So anything that pleased people, he was a people-pleaser to a fault, that he became a no God. He didn't please God. He was not a God pleaser. He was a people pleaser, and that is why he disobeyed God. Especially when God said, get rid of everybody. And he kept the best of the best. He did licky and yummy. But he was going to sacrifice it to God. Like I said, God indigent, God poor, God a suffer, God a starve. But he was going to tell Samuel. Remember, Samuel is like a judge. That no man, I was going to use it when him hear the goat, which one of them bleat? The sheep are bleat, and the goat, a mommy, or whatever you want to say it. And Samuel said, what is that I'm hearing? You got to be kidding me, Saul. Right? And he didn't get away, he didn't get killed. What's his name again? King Hagar, whatever the name of that man was. And when you trace him, he was linked back to Haman. You remember Haman was the one who built the gallows to kill Mordecai? Was a pompous, narcissistic, and even arrogant, proud man. Because Saul did not listen. And generations later, this evil man came about. From when you link it back to King Ahab. So the point that I'm making is that Saul served for, how long Saul served for? 40 years. 38 of it, God never walked with him. 38 of it, God never walked with him at all. 38 of the years, God did not walk with him. 38 of the years, God did not, hear me, 38, 2 years alone. Maybe when we just start. Just start out. And when God realized, oh, I know the heart of this man here. I mean, he knew it from day one, He knew it from day one. Because the people were pressuring Saul for a lead, Samuel for a lead, and they on him like ticks. And God, God sometimes grants you your desire, but he gives you with leanness of heart. Or whatever he grants is not in his perfect will, his permissive will. So them get a leader, but not the right leader. Yes, he looked stately, looked good and whatnot. But the internal, he knew it was a weak one. He was like what you talk about, a carnal Christian sort of a man. For me, Saul really wasn't a Christian, personally speaking. Right? But yet, when David came on the scene, and started to strut his stuff after he killed Goliath, and Saul welcomed him into the palace and so forth. And when the women started to sing, Saul killed 1,000, David tens of thousands, 10 times what he did, the jealousy started to show the real him. Because God wanted that, The jealousy started and so forth. You understand me? The jealousy started. And the Bible said the man pursue him day in and day out, night in and night out. Day in and day out, night in and night out. Night in and night out, day in and day out. Until, not even until, let me say this, until 2 times, David got wind of where he was, and he came upon him when he was sleeping and just cut a piece of his, let's just say, robe or mantle or whatever it is that he had on twice, and him said, Saul, why are you doing this? I've always been good to you. Why are you doing this? I've always been good to you, served you, respected you, honored you. You're like a father to me. I was like a best friend to your son, a brother to your son, a brother. And look at this, I could have killed you 2 times. I didn't, because God said, no touch you. Although him spirit walk away from him. Him spirit walk away from God. God's spirit walk away from Saul, but he was still anointed king. He was his post was still intact until God was ready for him to go. 13 years later, after Samuel had anointed David king, before David became king, 13 years later, days after, you remember when they went on some sort of a war, and then when they came back, all their wives and belongings were stolen, to the point where David's servants and friends said, we're going to stone you, because you make all of them something happen. And I cry out to God and say, God, should we attack? And him say, yes! And them get back them wife and kids and get rid of them. So listen to me. No put on a hand on the man of God. I don't care. Him say him get intense. Him start to say police officers in the khaki uniform. If I really true, do not even make a breeze past the man. You not mad? You not crazy? You cannot answer to God. I could have 1 million of you. You cannot stand in the presence of God. Do not put your hand or hands, if what he's saying is true, on the man of God. Don't put it on no men and women of God. You cannot withstand what will come. You cannot withstand. You're going to feel like it was better that you were not born. No, put your hand on him. Do not. So I'm not sure if what he's saying is true. Don't put your hand on the man of God if what he has promulgated is true, because you're going to wish you never did born. Don't do it. Don't touch a man of God, whether you think he's fake or even if he's fake. Make God deal with the fake. Even if you think he's fake, do not put your hand on him. Do not touch him. A word to the wise is sufficient unto the day. Guys, follow me on TikTok, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share this message. Thank you.